an electronic copy of a legal letter from Freedom Law Chambers, headed by Anand Ramlogan, SC, with Senator Jaiwantie Ramdass listed on the firm's letterhead as the first associate in those law chambers. I had not seen this letter before that. The letter contained a number of outrageous, false, and defamatory accusations and allegations about which I have sought legal counsel, and was purportedly based on instructions given by the Auditor General, Ms. Jaiwantie Ramdass, to Freedom Law Chambers. In this letter, it was alleged that the Auditor General received from the MOF, that's the acronym, described on page 12 of the letter from Freedom Law Chambers as the Minister of Finance, 2 sets of public accounts comprising the original accounts and the amended public accounts for the financial year 2023, with a statement of declaration and certification dated January 31st, 2024, showing a statement of revenue figure of $64,488,503,781.84. The letter went on to say that both the original and amended statements were dated January 31st, 2024, despite the error which caused the amendments being discovered long in March, so clearly a typo, long after the statutory deadline of January 31st, 2024. It further alleged that it was clear that the MOF, which acronym could easily be interpreted by a member of the public on reading page 12 of the letter from Freedom Law Chambers to mean the Minister of Finance, simply backdated the original accounts and replaced the old revenue figure with the new one, and that it did so without showing any amendment to the national accounts. The following statement was then made. Our client quite properly viewed this as an unethical attempt to backdate the original national accounts, which were submitted to her to cover what was a financial mistake of unprecedented magnitude with grave financial, economic, and political implications. The letter went on to flagrantly misrepresent statements made by the Minister of Finance in the House of Representatives on Friday, April 26, 2024, in the debate on a motion to extend the deadlines in Section 24 and 25 of the Exchequer and Audit Act, and to falsely accuse the government of attempting to coerce and intimidate the Auditor General into doing its bidding in breach of law. As I will demonstrate momentarily, the allegations made against me as Minister of Finance and the dedicated public servants involved in production of the national accounts on an annual basis are totally false. But it is important to identify for the record the office holders whose character and reputation the Auditor General, through Freedom Chambers, has impugned. Throughout the letter from the Freedom Law Chambers, the terms MOF and Ministry of Finance and reference to officials of the Ministry of Finance are commingled and confused with the persona of the Minister of Finance, with the clear intention to give the false impression that the original and amended public accounts for the financial year 2023 were prepared and submitted to the Auditor General by the Minister of Finance himself, when nothing could be further from the truth. For the avoidance of doubt, the Minister of Finance does not prepare, declare, certify, or submit the national accounts to the Auditor General. And no Minister of Finance has done this for decades, if at all. In reality, the national accounts are prepared, declared, certified, and submitted by the accounting officer in the Ministry of Finance, who is the permanent secretary, and are co-signed by the Controller of Accounts and the Treasury Director. The Minister of Finance is not involved in this exercise, a fact that I made clear in the House of Representatives on Friday last. However, what is particularly disturbing is the statement in the letter from Freedom Law Chambers that the MOF, which as I said before, could be me, unethically backdated the amended public accounts to January 31st, 2024 to cover a financial mistake of unprecedented magnitude with grave financial, economic, and political implications. Since I, as Minister of Finance, did not prepare or amend the public accounts, nor did I date them, certify them, or submit them to the Auditor General, I consulted with the staff in the ministry about this very serious accusation of improper conduct on the part of the MOF, which, as I've indicated before, is described on page 12 of the letter from Freedom Law Chambers as being the Minister of Finance. I was subsequently sent a copy of the Statement of Declaration and Certification submitted by ministry officials to the Auditor General with the amended public accounts on April 16, 2024. From what has been shown to me, this Statement of Declaration and Certification of the amended public accounts is dated April 16, 2024, and not January 31st, 2024, as falsely alleged in the letter from Freedom Law Chambers. I have seen on that declaration, the April 16 one, the signatures of the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, the Controller of Accounts, and the Treasury Director, and the date April 16, 2024, written in their own hands. The insinuation that I, as Minister of Finance, or alternatively the officials in the ministry, unethically backdated the amended public accounts to January 31st, 2024, to cover a mistake of unprecedented magnitude in the national accounts has therefore taken a new dimension. If the document shown to me is authentic, and the true date on the Statement of Declaration and Certification of the amended public accounts for the financial year 2023, submitted by the ministry officials, is in fact April 16, 2024, and not January 31st, 2024, then a blatant untruth has been put into the public domain. This matter now requires a full independent investigation, the findings of which will be reported to the Public Service Commission and any other relevant office holder for their review and whatever action these independent institutions deem appropriate.